Welcome to the Angel and Starry or Starry and Angel channel. Thank you guys so much for being so supportive. So today we're gonna do a dope video on what are we doing it on? I forgot.
We're doing tips on how to live a nomad
Oh
life.
yeah, today we're doing a dope video on tips on how to live a nomad lifestyle. So that once again, that's tips on how to live a nomad lifestyle like Star and I do. And so we're excited. We're so glad to have you guys tune in. So let's start this thing.
All right, tip number one, you're gonna wanna find some way to make money on the road so that you don't go broke. You wanna be able to do fun things. You don't wanna be restricted. I've done that life before where I'm restricted and I am just like scraping by, and it's not fun. It's really not. It's an experience, but it's not fun. So find a way to have a consistent flow of money coming in. Whether that means that you are a content producer or you are able to land a job that is just 100% virtual for a company, just find something. Even if it means that every city that you go to, you're able to just like find a job and then you quit and move on. But just make sure that you're smart with the money end of it.
Tip number two, guys, that's dos in Espanol, is go with the flow. Things happen as you're traveling. Living that nomad lifestyle, you can get a flat tire in the middle of nowhere. You can forget some really important documents, get stuff stolen. But more importantly, you just don't let it kill your vibe or your trip. Just go with the flow and you'll have such a better time. Don't let it break you down.
Okay, tip number three. I would recommend to maybe consider becoming a minimalist, or at least when you travel, to pack light. It's very important to do this because if you are trying to bring everything you own, and if you own a lot of stuff, it's just gonna take up way too much unnecessary space. And if you're traveling by plane or by bus, you're gonna end up spending more money than if you just had one bag. So definitely consider condensing what you own into just what you need.
Step number four, always want to make sure you have a to-do list. When you're traveling, you always want to make sure you have certain things and certain items. So not necessarily a to-do list, but a checklist. You want to go down the checklist, make sure that you're not forgetting anything that's important, anything that is really necessary as you travel, because if you leave something behind and you drive out 10 hours and realize, shoot, I don't got it anymore, you can really mess up your day. So make sure that you have those lists of everything that you need when you're traveling, because it could be the make or break of your travel.
Tip number five, you're going to want to research the places that you're going. For me personally, this is a little embarrassing, but I research it so that I know what storms to expect, you know, my biggest fear. But also so that you can get to know the culture, the people, the food, the different places that you can go explore ahead of time, so that once you get there, you are ready to go explore.
Tip number six, guys. Tip number six, make sure to prepare for all different types of weather. When you're not used to traveling and staying still, you get used to one climate. Like for instance, I'm from LA, I got used to the LA climate. So when I started traveling, it was really tough to change the different climates that we go to, because you go through really hot to really, really cold to just in between to humid. So just plan for those things, because just because at a certain time of the year it's nice in one state doesn't mean it's not going to be just terrible weather in another state. So you want to make sure you have cold gear, hot warm gear, just relaxing gear, all that stuff. Okay.
Number seven, so you want to make sure that you have water stored. So if you are traveling by car, make sure that you have like a case of water at least, because you never know when you're going to get into a situation where you're stuck on the side of the road. Like maybe if somebody like wasn't paying attention to the gas and you kind of like break down on the side of the road. But also if you're traveling by train or airplane, just make sure that you have, I would say, at least 2 bottles of water with you per person, because again, you never know what's gonna happen, and water is something that the body needs.
Oh, hey, step number 8 You're always going to make sure you have good tools to help you on your road trip. Those tools I'm talking about are apps that helps you get cheaper rate on things. So app number 1 is Hotwire. Hotwire will help you get cheaper rates on places to stay like hotels, motels. It literally will take the cost from like $100 a night and drop it down to 32 bucks. So you want to check that app out as you travel. Make sure you save a lot of money. App number 2 is called Gas Buddy. It allows you to save on cheap gases. So it pulls up all the cheap gases in your location and you get to test the rates to see what you can afford. If you're traveling by car, that's not really a big deal for you, but the bigger your car is, the more gas it pulls in, and so cheaper gas will help you in the long run.
Tip number 9 is to store your important documents. So we all have important documents, whatever it is, keep it to yourself, but find a safe place to put all those things so that you don't have to worry about them and so that you don't have to take them with you as you travel. So Angel and I have our secret place that we keep all our safe stuff, and my mom knows about it so that we know that there's another person that we trust that knows about it as well. And it just makes it so that as we're traveling, that's just like one less thing that we have to stress about.
Tip number 10, be a respectful traveler. Keep in mind, you're always the traveler as a nomad. Everywhere you go, you're always the traveler. So just embrace it. If people call you tourist, that's okay. Just do you. But keep in mind that you want to be nice to the people in the areas, the cities, the locations you go to, because those are the same people that might be able to save you by 1, finding really cool places to eat, 2, pointing you to the local place where you can use the bathroom and things like that. And you never want to be mean to anyone, especially since you're visiting their natural spot. And so that's our tip number 10, is just be good and kind to people that you encounter while traveling, because they'll be good to you.